So for those that have read the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, it's a true story of my two dads. And the story begins when I was 9 years old, growing up in a little town, a little sugar plantation town called Hilo, Hawaii. And I raised my hand in the 4th grade, and I went to a very rich, basically all-white school. And I said, Mrs. Gerald, when will I learn about money? And she says, money? Don't you know the love of money is the root of all evil? I said, not to me. But I tell you, and she says, you're here to get a job. I said, no, I don't want a job. I just want to get rich. So she says, go ask your dad. So that's where Rich Dad, Poor Dad started. And my poor dad was the head of education for Hawaii, very smart man, PhD, went to Stanford, University of Chicago, Northwestern. And I went home and I asked Dad, I said, hey, Dad, when are we going to learn about money? And he says, never. I said, why not? He said, the government doesn't allow us to teach you that. I said, that's kind of interesting. So he said, if you want to get rich, go talk to your best friend's father. And he's an entrepreneur, and someday he'll be a very rich man. So that's how the story of Rich Dad, Poor Dad starts. When I was 9 years old, I went to my rich dad's office, being an entrepreneur, and he started teaching his son and me about why the rich get richer. And that's my financial education began. So I wrote this book. It came out in 1997. So far, it's sold about 41 million copies in 50 languages throughout the world. So what I did was, after Bucky kind of chewed me out, he says, what can I do? I'm just a little guy. My wife and I created this board game called Cash Flow, but this is the key to the cash flow game here. This is called a financial statement. You add a financial statement to Monopoly, you have cash flow. This is financial literacy, how you understand numbers. So the beauty of the cash flow game is today we have thousands and thousands of cash flow clubs all over the world, people teaching people without having to go through school and getting into student loan debt. Now, you have to go to school to be a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, but you don't have to go to school to be rich. So all over the world today, I did what Dr. Fuller asked. I started empowering people to learn. So all over the world today, every day in different languages, people are teaching people the same lessons my rich dad taught me. Poor dad always said, go to school and get a high-paying job. The problem with education, they teach you to be employees. Rich dad taught me to be an entrepreneur, acquiring assets. 4 greenhouses, 1 red hotel. Assets are very simple. You can plant an apple seed, and the apple seed grows into a tree, you harvest the apples, you sell the apples, you reinvest your profits, and you keep building an orchard. That's how you get rich. Or a friend of mine, when he was in high school, his grandma gave him some chickens. Those chickens laid eggs. He sold the eggs and reinvested it. And when he was 45, I think he sold his business. He was selling 10 million eggs a day to Costco and Walmart. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to build assets. Just buy a couple of chickens, okay? So the power of words, financial literacy begins with words, because words affect your brain. As my poor dad always said, I can't afford it. You know, in Sunday school I learned the word becomes flesh. Every time you say you can't afford it, you say, I'm poor, I'm a loser, I can't do something, I'm helpless. The government should take care of me. It's disgusting. Rich Dad taught me, how can I afford it? So when I had no money, my wife and I just kept saying, well, how can I afford it? And pretty soon your mind opens up, and that's when intelligence comes in. Most important words in money are basic. There's only 4: assets, liabilities, cash flow. You understand those 4 words basically, then you can build your vocabulary. Money has a language, but it's not taught in school. It's taught job security versus being an entrepreneur. You know, look for job security instead of go for financial freedom. It's somebody should take care of you instead of I'm going to take care of other people. As an entrepreneur, I have thousands of employees. You know, that's my job, to create other jobs, give them a safe. Change your words, change your life. Never say I can't afford it. Ask yourself, how can I afford it? Work to acquire assets, not liabilities. That, ladies and gentlemen, we have thousands of cash flow clubs around the world. People are teaching people. You don't have to go to school to learn to be rich. So the thing is Bucky Fuller challenged me. What can I do? I'm just a little guy. I stopped making wallets and I started making sense. My wife and I created this cash flow board game. It's played throughout the world today. Every day, tens of thousands of people are teaching themselves. That's how you change the world. But we change your words, you change your life. So the best news is, words are free. It doesn't take millions of dollars to change the world. Just change your words. Thank you very much.